Good morning, TryHard Reading Corner. Oy vey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't even do it. So I think it's 19 in sign language. 1, 9, 19. It's crazy. Wow, this has been nuts. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I painted something. It's not as quarantine funny as the last two. I mean, I know myself, but it is cute little sun, and it says "Be the sunshine." It was gorgeous out. I love the weather. I was like, the sun, and this happened. So I'm gonna hang it up real quick. So there we go. We got some color in this side. That looks good, right? I'm just kind of talking to myself about it. My hair, I don't even know anymore, guys. I think it's like I don't know, but I'm gonna wear it today because it's the only hair I got. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. I really hope you guys do the food thing I asked you to do, or challenge you to do. If you guys feel like you're a food family, you can try it out for yourselves, but I just thought it would be super fun. Cooking. That's what we're going to talk about today. I don't know what your go-tos are via quarantine, but I'm doing okay. The first week, okay, we'll give you a recap, Miss Johnson recap. The first week was a lot of stress because I was just told I have to teach through a computer, and I'm known to teach in front of humans, so that was really hard. And I mean, trust me, I know e-learning is not easy for anyone, for parents, for kiddos, but teachers it was a struggle for teachers too. I mean, we're all in this together, right? So I made 500 accounts with 500 different platforms and stuff, and now I have 800 emails where they're like, "Why aren't you using our platform to e-learn?" And I'm like, "Because yours wasn't good, and I didn't like it, and I also didn't know how to run it." So yeah, that was a doozy. But when we were doing that, or when I was trying to figure that out, I really wasn't cooking as much. It was more like frozen pizza, order this, whatever, just trying to survive. And then after a week, I realized I can't live like this. But now I'm to the other extreme where we're cooking too much almost. It's been nuts. I have amazing housemates, and they're all crazy gifted chefs, basically. And then it sounds like I have a lawnmower in my kitchen, and then you just hear a lot of shouting and confusion whenever I'm in there. And also, I didn't know if you knew this, my kitchen, and I know I exaggerate, my kitchen is a very slender shoebox. Two people cannot walk together through it. You have to maneuver. I can't even open my fridge the full way because it smacks the counter. Also, I don't have a dishwasher. So I've been having to hand wash everything. So if you're like, "Oh, when I'm an adult, I don't have chores," worse, you have all the chores because mama and daddy aren't helping you, or your siblings aren't helping you. But we've been cooking a lot, and I've come from a family of amazing cooks. Oh, they're so good. And they're what inspire me of I have to be able to make their recipe someday. I have to do it. My trampoline grandma, she's just the chef, man. She can do pies. Pies are probably her specialty. Her fried chicken is the bomb. But food is always a very big highlight in that house. And then my Nana, she is so good. Everything she makes is amazing. She makes a breakfast casserole, which I was craving so bad for Easter. And she's so good where she can duplicate other people's favorites of "Oh, I love trampoline grandma's this," and she'll just do it. And I'm like, cool. Oh, that's awesome. And then another thing she makes is baked steak. And I thought everybody knew what that was. Do you? Okay, it's not you're baking steak like a cake. It's how do I put this? It's kind of think chicken fried steak vibes. Is it chicken or country fried steak? Chicken fried steak? It's not chicken, it's steak. country steak. The steak has a breading on it, and then you just bathe that in gravy, and then you put it all over potatoes. Ugh, living my best life. And then my grandma with all the horses, I swear she has like some magical recipe for spaghetti and meatballs. Like some people are like, oh, that's a quick and easy meal. Like that's our Christmas dinner because it's that good. And she has like these magical sloppy joes. Either way, I'm trying to get there, okay? So I am going to be attempting my Nana's baked steak soon enough. We shall see how it goes. But I was wondering if you guys are getting super adventurous with cooking, or like Easy Mac's your go-to and you're comfortable with that. But I think what's happening is since I can't go to the restaurants, I'm trying to like bring the restaurants in my house. But it's funny and very unprofessional because I don't know what I'm doing. Are there restaurants you're craving? Or like things you're like, wait, I wish I could have that. Because for me, it comes and goes in waves. And then I think of like, oh, I want to eat here. And I haven't eaten there in 10 years. But like, just because of the fact that I can't eat there now makes me want it so much more. Like, there's times where like, I want McDonald's French fries. And then there's other times where it's like, I want some sophisticated like steak dinner. But I think what I'm going to do, and you should do it too, is I'm going to make like a quarantine bucket list of things I want to consume when I get out of here. And it's going to be expensive. And I'm not going to do it all at once. I'm not crazy. But then that way I'm like, oh, I'm bored. There's nothing to do. And like, I can actually go places and do things. I'll have this list of like, oh, remember the time when you couldn't do that? Yeah. Don't be whining. Be grateful. Be happy. So I think I'll do that. But yeah, I've been trying to cook. Doesn't mean I'm good at it. But I'm curious if like you guys are becoming expert chefs in this. And like when we come back, your cold lunches will be like very fancy and sophisticated, or have you been dying for some Crispitos? Okay, each school has like their signature thing. Crispitos at Cathedral, they should have a parade when it's Crispito Day. Everybody's smiling, everybody's happy. There's very, very few cold lunches that day. It is a party. I don't even know how to describe Crispitos to you if you haven't had the experience yourself. I've been craving some Crispitos, I'm not gonna lie. Like at St. Peter's, that day, like where everybody's freaking out, it was the cream turkey day, where it was mashed potatoes, turkey, like shredded turkey, and then this gravy on top. And then you would get these like heavenly dinner rolls, but when you were in 8th grade, you could go back and get 2 dinner rolls. And like as you're walking with your tray, everybody's just like, I can't believe they get to have rolls. And you're like, yeah, I do. Oh, I almost fell. But it was so good. I loved days like that. And then for pious, I think, I don't know, it wasn't a normal thing for everybody to always eat the calf every day. But we really liked Meal in a Bowl. That's kind of like the OG, where the Meal in the Bowl came from. Meal in a Bowl was a good day. I love Fiestada. Some people are like, it's like a weird pizza that's shaped like a stop sign. I'm like, why are you mad? It's delicious. You know, it's great. Then in college, I'm just telling you all my calf history. Then in college at Benedictine College, like when I got there, they upped their game. Like their calf was like elevated. Everybody always freaked out whenever whenever they had omelets, because it was like Build-A-Bear but for omelets, and everybody's like, whatever shall I put in my omelet today? And the line was always so long, so if you got it, like everybody was like, how'd you do that? My personal fave though is they just had a soft serve ice cream like just there, and they just would let us eat and eat and eat and eat, and it was buffet style, which is so dangerous. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there were times where like maybe I ate out somewhere else and I would use like my meal swipe and I'd go and I'd get me a cone. And life hack, befriend all your friends that have worked in a restaurant that serves soft serve. I have one of my best friends. She worked at DQ. It was so sad. Like whenever I did it, it was like a question mark. My ice cream would come in the shape of a question mark and just be like sad and defeated and like looking at me like, what are you doing? But then she would just go do 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 do, and she could do like, okay, look up a Dairy Queen picture. She could do it where it's like beautiful little like snow mountains, and then she would do the little like curly Q at the top, which is like the DQ signature. Oh, it was so awesome. And everybody would be like, how'd you do it? I'm like, I have a friend. And like, I was so proud of myself. It was awesome. So, I just went on a cafeteria tangent, but it's real and it's amazing. And I miss it. And I think I also miss like staring at you guys and giving you the mom look like, what you doing? And the funniest part is whenever you guys were doing something, whenever my kids were doing something suspicious, they would be like, tee hee hee, and then they would look at me, tee hee hee, and then they would look at me. And I'm like, why are you looking at me? And then I would have to go investigate and I would find everything out. And they still haven't learned it. I've shared this to them. But it was cute and it's fun. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, there were some times as teachers where I love my teacher table. I have such good coworkers where we would all just look at one kid. Even if they were doing something right or wrong, we just all would look. And then the kid would be like, what did I do? And we're like, nothing. We just messing with you. I have really good jokester coworkers. I miss them. I miss talking with them in the hall. And then a kid walking by because they forgot a textbook and we would all give them a bad time and joke with them and oh. Yeah, I'm missing it. But you know what? Eat your loneliness and missingness for food and people. I dare you to like do a classy recipe. Try something. I'm gonna attempt my Nana's baked steak. And also the only way to attempt something is like feel fancy about it. I bought myself an apron just so I feel like I'm like already an official chef, even though I'm not. And then what you do is you crank that music up so that way it sounds like the kitchen sounding really confident, but it can also hide like all the yelling and mistakes you're making. And then you just dance your way through it. Like, I guess that's kind of like my biggest quarantine thing is whenever you don't know what you're doing, just like dance your way through it, because if it's on fire or if something's not happening, at least you look good dancing, right? That's my rationale for this, I guess. We have a Wayside story today. I'm so excited. We have been chucking along through this. We are on chapter 19, Miss Zarves, and I think we're actually going to get to read 3 chapters today because I'm such a good reader. No, it's fine. Okay, so remember, Wayside School was built the wrong way. It was supposed to be long and flat like Cathedral is, and instead it was stacked up on top of each other like a big tower. There's 30 flights of stairs, but the architect forgot the 19th story and he's very sorry. So like, I always ask like, why is that not called the 29th story at the top? But it's called the 30th. There's just no 19th. They just skip it. They go 18, 20. We learned about John, who can only read upside down, and Leslie, who was going to sell her toes but wouldn't sell her hair. Why are we selling anything? But we're on to chapter 19, Miss Zarves. There is no Miss Zarves. There is no 19th story. Sorry. That was a short chapter. Chapter 20. Oh, Kathy. Chapter 20, Kathy. This girl riles my feathers. She is something, and you'll know why, so pay close attention. Kathy doesn't like you. She doesn't know you, but she still doesn't like you. She thinks you are stupid. In fact, she thinks you are the stupidest person she doesn't know. What do you think of that? She also thinks you're ugly. As a matter of fact, she thinks you are the ugliest person she doesn't know. And she doesn't know a lot of people. She doesn't like the people she knows either. She hates everybody in Mrs. Jewell's class. She did like one member of the class. She liked Sammy. She thought he was funny. Sammy turned out to be a dead rat. I love that chapter. Kathy has good reasons for not liking any of the children she knows. She doesn't like DJ because he smiles too much, and she doesn't like John because he can't stand on his head. Kathy once had a cat named Skunks. That's a great cat name. She liked Skunks, but she was afraid that Skunks would run away. You have nothing to worry about, Kathy, said Mrs. Jewell. Skunks won't run away. Just be nice to him and feed him and pet him and he won't run away. He may go out and play, but he'll always come back. No, you're wrong, Mrs. Jewell, said Kathy. What do you know? He'll run away. Kathy kept Skunk locked up in her closet at home all the time. She never let him out and sometimes even forgot to feed him. One day, whilst Kathy was looking for her other shoes, Skunks ran out the closet and never came back.
You said he would come back, Mrs. Jewell, said Kathy. He never came back. You were wrong. I was right. That was why Kathy didn't like Mrs. Jewell. The next time I get a cat, I'll kill him. Then he'll never run away, said Kathy. But you'd be a cat murderer, Kathy, so don't do that, right? Ooh. Then there was the time that Damien tried to teach Kathy how to play catch. Damien said, when I throw you the ball, Kathy, try to catch it. I can't catch it, said Kathy. I'll just get hurt. You won't get hurt, Damien insisted. Just catch the ball. He tossed it to her. But Kathy knew she'd get hurt, so she closed her eyes. The ball hit her on her cheek. It hurt. Kathy began to cry. You were wrong, she sobbed. I was right. And that was why Kathy didn't like Damien. Allison believed that if you're nice to someone, then they'll be nice to you. So one day, she brought Kathy a cookie. I don't want your ugly cookie, said Kathy. It probably tastes terrible. Allison said, no, it's very good. I made it myself. Kathy said, if you made it, then it must stink. You can't cook. You're too stupid. She just put the cookie in her desk along with her pencils, her crayons, and her books. 3 weeks later, Kathy was hungry. All right, Allison, she said, I'll try your stupid cookie. She took it out of her desk. It was covered in dust. She took a bite. It was hard, and it tasted terrible. See, said Kathy, I was right. And that was why Kathy didn't like Allison. Yes, Kathy had very good reasons for not liking anybody she knew, but she also had good reasons for not liking you. And she doesn't even know you, and her reason is this. She knows that if you ever met her, you wouldn't like her. You don't like Kathy, do you? See, she was right. It's funny how a person can be right all the time and still be so wrong. Oh, Kathy. Okay, one last short one. I know I talk too much. Chapter 21, Ron. Ron had curly hair and little feet. I want to play kickball, he said. You can't play, said Terrence. Get out of here, said Dee Dee. Scram, said Jason. I want to play kickball, said Ron. Well, you're not playing, said Terrence. Beat it. Ron stomped across the playground to the hopscotch area. Jenny was playing hopscotch with Louie. Jenny was on 9 and Louie was still on 4, but it was his turn. I want to play kickball, said Ron. So go play kickball, said Louie. Terrence won't let me play, said Ron. Louie walked with Ron to the kickball field. Hey, what about our hopscotch game, said Jenny. You won, said Louie. Yeah, I just beat Louie in hopscotch, Jenny announced. Leslie, Rondi, and Allison flocked around her. Hey, Louie, Damien shouted. Do you want to play kickball? All right, said Louie. Ron and I will both play. No, said Terrence. Ron isn't playing. Anyone who wants to play can play, said Louie. No, he can't, said Terrence. It's my ball. It isn't your ball, said Louie. You gave it to me, said Terrence. I gave it to you to share, said Louie. If you can't share it, you can't have it. Oh, all right, said Terrence. But I get to pitch. Ron and I will stand everybody, Louie announced. All right, said Jason. We're going to kill him. We'll murder him, said Dee Dee. We'll smash him, said Myron. We'll see, said Louie. Ron pitched and Louie played the other 8 positions. Wow, overachiever. 20 minutes later, they finally got 3 outs. The score was 21-0. Ron was up first. Infield in, shouted Damien. Everybody stood within 10 feet of home plate. All right, Ron, said Louie. Kick it over their heads. Ron kicked the ball only 3.5 feet. Todd picked it up and threw him out. Louie was up. Everybody ran back to the edge of the outfield. Still, Louie kicked the ball over their heads for a home run. Everyone ran all the way back in again for Ron's up. He kicked the ball only 2 feet. Dee Dee tagged him out. Louie kicked another home run. Ron then kicked the ball a foot and tripped over it on his way to first base. 3 outs. Ron and Louie held the other team to only 5 runs in the next inning. That was because the bell rang. Lunch was finally over. Louie and Ron lost 22-2. Ron had a wonderful time. The next day, Ron said, I want to play kickball. You can't play, said Terrence. Get out of here, said Jason. Scram, said Dee Dee. I want to play kickball, Ron told Louie. Louie walked to him on the kick field. Ron and I will stand all of you. Everybody liked the game. Ron pitched while Louie played the other 8 positions, and they lost 57-2. The next game, Louie took Ron aside. Listen, Ron, he said, Why do you always want to play kickball? You can't kick, you can't field, you can't even run to first base. You get smashed every time. Hey, now wait a minute, said Ron. Don't go blaming it all on me. You're the other half of the team too, you know. And with that, he punched Louie in the stomach, and he punched a heck of a lot harder than he kicked. That was so funny. So yeah, Wayside is da bomb, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Try to cook something. You might surprise yourself or your parents. But I hope you have a great rest of your day. Just know that I love you, I miss you, I'm praying for you, I'm proud of you. I wish we could eat Crispitos together, and I know it'll happen soon enough. But just know that I'm thinking of you guys, and I'll be cooking something up and jamming and making a mess. And I hope you're doing the same too. See you guys.